Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I have a Discord, but
It's not like Lenny has used it.
oh my
Oh!
gosh.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna set up real quick, because I'm kind of not ready. So yeah, okay, it's gonna be dope. I'm a
Let's go!
the moniker's NBA Flash 3, by the way. But no, I was kidding. Hold
Go
up.
get it right.
um, I'll just leave this empty blank here.
I'm gonna get a beer open.
Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. Feel comfortable. I mean,
I know. It's a streamer microphone.
it is the streamer microphone. So I'm gonna activate this. Okay.
Just took a shot right now. My hair is sticking up.
It's fine. No worries. I'm trying to set up my webcam right on Discord. Do you see me? Yes, you see me. So yeah, we're gonna do this real quick.
See you. Yes.
I want to see. Oh, you got a haircut, dude.
Yes, I did. So
Fresh, I like it.
thank you, Sam. Dude, you guys are balling right now. Well, so I'm gonna do like the quick intro. So usually I do like a quick intro. I do like I use like this old YouTube video of mine because I still think the intro is fire. So I'm gonna do that.
I'm sick. It's fucking sick, guys.
It's honestly it's pretty good for high school me. So I might have to update the intro and just do a better one.
Dude, you know what just happened right now?
What happened?
Open up his beer. At it. I had to slide him my beer to open it. He didn't open it for me.
Dude,
What the heck?
what the heck? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hey, well, Isaiah's stats guy, dude. He's still the stats guy. That's why. I'm a deafen real quick, so it'll be a little awkward. So I'll be doing the intro. Okay, we'll do the intro real quick. Hopefully this is the right video. Okay. This is so scuffed. This intro's so scuffed. Oh, yeah, I need a drink. Okay, yeah, that's it for the intro. Yeah, so, I need a quick settings. This is hard. You know, this being a streamer, it's tough, dude. It's tough out here.
Ah, it's an investment, dude. She wants to get into streaming too, but like y'all, if this teaching thing doesn't work out, I'm gonna go all out streaming. And I'm like, hell yeah, do it, full send.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so you're now live on my stream. You can see yourself if you pull up to twitch.tv/NBA-3, just plugging, by the way.
Not stutter when you said that. Did you see that? NBA Flash TV Twitch.
Dude, I've been practicing. You know, when it comes to the lights and the cameras, I'm kind of used with it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. But,
manager, CEO, cameraman.
dude, I'm low-key a one-man army. My friend helped me out with the last video, but everything else, I've been editing. I've been coming up with ideas. I made PowerPoint presentations for fun just to present on stream. So it gets kind of gnarly sometimes. So yeah, if you don't know about my show and if it's your first time checking this out, Typical Tangents is a show I made when I was younger. Usually it's just me going on a tangent, but this time I want to do like a guest version and talk about a certain topic, bring up some questions, go along with it, go along with the ride, and we can just talk the talk and walk the walk, So yeah, so thanks for coming on the show. We got Isaiah and Sam. If you want to introduce yourself, how you know me, what you do now, stuff like that, please go ahead. Bye. What's so funny? I don't know what's so funny, but
Someone's car alarm.
Yeah. So yeah.
This is happening. We're live right now.
You're live right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, NBA Flash 3. Thank you for having us.
Okay, you can just call me John. This is
John. teacher thing.
What did you say, John? You asked the question. There.
So so you just introduce who you are, how you know me, what you do currently, what's your life about, what's going on, what's good, what's popping, stuff like that, you know. So
I can go first.
I'll just drink.
Oh, this is interesting. About me. Well, let's talk about how I met John first, actually. John, I met you like before on orientation day at
Yeah.
Davis, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, really? You met
yeah.
on orientation day?
Me and John had the same orientation day.
Yeah, we had the last day of orientation.
That's really romantic,
He's
dude.
the first person I met in our major, at least. I met other people like climbing around, but like.
And Tony. Tony was there, dude. Tony.
And Tony.
And I guess Alvin. Alvin was there too, I think. Yeah.
This
Is Alvin there?
one.
Yeah, he was at
Yes,
the
he was there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I guess it's Modelo time over there.
It is.
Oh my god.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we met each other on the day of orientation, and we signed up for classes together. So that's how I know John. If people who know both of us, they probably both. Everyone was watching that knows us both. They probably
That's
know
boys.
that. But about me, I'm a date. This is new to me, so I'm a little bit like.
You want me to-
It's a little overwhelming, I understand, you know, talk show host, you know. But I mean, dude, it's cool. It's not you presented in front of class before, so I don't think this is any different to be honest.
He's grading you.
True, yes.
Pass or no pass.
All right, I'm gonna pass the mic to Sam, and then I'll continue where I was going with
Because
that
the
one.
mic. I met John through Isaiah because I was romantically engaged
Is.
with. Oh, I am. I currently am engaged with him. And wait, no, like romantic. Wait, now this sounds. Hold up. Wrong
Dang.
words.
Watch you tense.
We're dating.
Miss me
Okay.
with that tense.
Dating. And I would see him outside of class and stuff, and I'd meet his friends, and all the stats boys, they'll be talking like, oh, regression, and then like they all be all statty up, But then there was a select few that would speak to me and acknowledge my existence, and definitely the most prominent one was John.
Oh wow. Oh wow. I feel so
that was
honored.
nice. No, everybody's like talking to me, small talk. But then John would be like, "Why? What are you doing here?" Like straight up, and I'm like, "Oh."
Wait, I really said
God.
that? I
I'm
don't...
like, oh. And then, like, it made me feel really comfortable with him, and like, I don't know, his calves are like this big.
Dude, are you talking about Chris? I'm confused.
I'm talking about you playing basketball, running around with your calves,
Dude, maybe Chris has bigger calves than me for sure.
I'm talking about calves. Oh my gosh.
Chris Town.
What was that a question? Or what are we doing right now? What I'm doing, we all just graduated recently.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
It's been a year. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we're both working.
Yeah.
I work at a vet hospital.
Uh-huh.
I cleaned up a lot of poop today. I got peed on once, but like everybody that comes in, all my patients are cute. So if they poop, if they pee, I'm like, it's okay, you're cute. I don't get used to the smell, but like they're cute,
Dude, hopefully people don't clip this out of context. It can
Oh my gosh, I get peed on and pooped on.
That's true. Oh yeah.
Why you're broke right now?
You're broke. What? What happened?
Yeah, I got a studio apartment and I got a car in like 2 days. So I spent a bunch of money.
What? You got a car? Hey, what car is it? Tesla Model 3. No, I was kidding.
Tesla.
Only
I
what it
wish.
should be.
I wish. I bought a used 2007 Honda Civic.
Oh, that's a good investment actually. Pretty solid.
Yeah. It's a pretty solid little car. So yeah, and then I got my own studio apartment in Westwood.
Westwood.
Jeez.
Whoa.
I know, right? Right? He's like, hold on. You see his eyes?
Whoa. I mean,
Yeah, he literally moved in today,
Today.
and he picked me up from work with his car for the first time today.
Oh, he's pulling all
And
the
so we're
moves.
just like, whoa! So we went to Target. We got like little outlets and like little shower curtains and little things like that. And this is gonna be his first night. Oh, but John got big.
I made him full screen. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's great. Congrats on the move-in. Maybe one day we'll have like a housewarming or something. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
maybe
That
in
would
like
be great.
probably in a few months, hopefully. But yeah,
I know. What are you
Yeah.
talking about, John? Probably in the next few months. Mhm.
yeah, it'd be super dope to go down to LA. Finally know someone I could a place where I could crash at. Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Dude, you really do.
Yeah, but
Very true.
talking about moving in, let's move to the topic about UC Davis. Common topic we have. I think that's gonna honestly, it's probably gonna be our main topic for the show.
That's our common ground here. You see
Yeah.
Davis.
Yeah, I mean that's how we all met. But let's talk about like just I'm gonna drop a question right now. How's your experience with Davis? Any pros and cons? Would you recommend stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, just go ahead. Anyone take the floor, by all means. I tried to get Chris on the show, but he was like, maybe. But I was like, okay.
Chris Todd, you're watching this fake.
You were trying to get him on tonight.
I mean, I asked him earlier this week, but he was like, maybe. But I didn't tell you guys were on because I kind of want to test him, I was just like, see where it goes, because I was just like,
him, all right, John. All right.
so I was just like, okay, cool. But yeah, same question.
So Davis, yeah.
Yeah.
The pros and cons. What I recommend. That's a good question about Davis. Well, the truth be told is that I guess this is the stats side of me. That most people only go to one or two colleges, right? Like as in 4-year universities. People go to community college, but most people, excuse me, they only go to one or two universities. They go to 2 because they transferred. So you, Sam, and I,
Common ground.
we only went to
Davis.
one 4-year university,
yeah,
right? And so the only thing that we can compare it to is itself. We can't compare it to Berkeley. We can't really. I mean, we could, but with our experience, we can't. We don't have that experience. But with my experience, I think it was. I mean, I don't know about you, John, but I think it was a great experience.
Yeah.
I think around this university, there's a lot of students anyway. But Davis has way more of a small town feel than say
UCLA.
So I'm in Westwood, and I'm right by UCLA. It's in Los Angeles,
bougie.
Yeah, and it's a city, right? It's an
Yeah.
actual city. And so there's a bunch of students around, but the feel is a lot different. The setting and
It's
the
so
whole,
different.
and the whole environment. And in some ways, it's a lot less homey. Yeah,
It's not
home welcoming, I guess, or just more of a welcoming.
Because everywhere you look here, there's young kids everywhere.
Yeah, you see
everywhere
that.
you look in Davis, there's the elderly.
But there was also a bunch of young kids, right?
Yeah.
It's very balanced.
And then Davis is a lot more of just a lot less metro.
It's very more family friendly than I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we were just talking about when we were driving up. We see a bunch of these UCLA students and kids running down. And I was just talking to Isaiah. I'm like, Daddy, money! I'm like, look at them go. I'm like, and I was like, it's kind of incredible because you know how expensive it is to live in LA, but specifically Westwood too. It just blows my mind to think about all these kids who I assume most aren't working. And I'm like, wow, who's paying for their rent? And I'm like, that's freaking crazy that they have parents who are willing to do that, or assuming that it's the parents doing that too,
Yeah.
But it's a different vibe.
To answer your question, I would very much recommend Davis, definitely. But what I would say is that don't assume that Davis is going to fulfill every single checkbox for your career and getting a job. That is not true. Do not expect Davis to be the only catapult for your career, because there's going to be something that you're going to need to do independently to get yourself in the door for a career.
I think anywhere you go, you have
anywhere.
to. Because I think there's definitely a lot of opportunities and resources that every school provides. It's a matter of whether the student is willing to acknowledge the resources and then actually go and use them.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. Yeah. Pros and cons. I mean, what do you think about
Well,
pros and
my
cons?
pros and cons, mine's I'm not a statistician, so maybe that's why my answers are a lot more simpler, I guess. Because I was thinking like pros, I'm like everybody there loves dogs. So, like, oh my gosh, like pros, if you like animals,
That's
everywhere
true.
you look, there's a dog,
True.
and
Yeah.
almost everybody there truly is. And everybody says Davis people are nice. Like I kid you not, people living there really do seem like kind-hearted.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody lets me pet their dog. So I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody's like, no, don't pet my dog. They're like, yeah, pet my Billy. And I'm like, hello, Billy. You know, and I definitely think Davis, one of the biggest strengths are their parks. I
Yes.
love
Yeah.
their parks.
The
and it's
park's
not like
underrated,
one
actually.
park. Yes, it's so underrated. Like it's one thing to have a park maybe 5 miles apart, but maybe it's because Davis is so small, everything's like a mile or two apart.
Yeah.
But they're big.
Yeah, but that kind of characterizes the overall feel you get from the setting, right? Like
It definitely does.
being at Davis versus UCLA, like the parks.
It's the trees. You see
Yeah.
buildings all here, and you literally, my friend, he's a photographer, and he usually does a lot of grad photos for students at Irvine,
Yeah.
San Diego, and LA.
Yeah.
Specifically LA a lot too. And so when he came to take my pictures in Davis, he was like, shout out to Haven Kim. And he was just like, oh my gosh, he was like, it's one thing to work with the shadows of buildings and stuff, but he was like, you guys got a lot of trees here. He was like, I work with the trees. And I was just like, I will smile. I'm like, this is not my problem.
It's like,
Like,
yeah,
I
you
feel-
gotta deal with it. This is just part of Davis.
No, you do. But like, I think that's what also contributes to what Isaiah mentioned, like it being more trees and things like that. It does make it seem more homey, you know. And everywhere you look, there's a nice park, and there's people always walking together. And even
Yeah.
if they're walking alone, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like even when I saw people walking alone, they still looked comfortable and at home. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's a very,
that's a huge
very
issue, actually.
comfortable setting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
I
feel
think my pro would be like dogs. Everybody having dogs.
yeah.
I think the only con I could think of is how far drives are from Davis. You know, like
Yeah.
how Davis is in the spot there, and if you gotta go places, you can definitely drive to like Vacaville or Sac or whatever. But it's kind of annoying that you have to go over there to just get certain things like Chick-fil-A or something like that. You know, like at least you have Chipotle, okay, but Baskin Robbins. But I'm like, you got bomb Thai food, like. I don't know. But I don't know. That's only if you like. I think if you're like nitpicky about that.
Yeah.
But I feel like me, I didn't have a car, I had a bike. I was just chilling right there in Davis. I don't need to go anywhere. You know, if I do, someone will give me a ride. But like, I don't know. I think it's really hard to think of cons, to be honest. But there definitely, I think there were. But
Yeah.
that's my biggest pros and cons.
For sure. I feel the same way. One con about Davis, everything kind of closed pretty early, especially like food places.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Like, dude, you're getting the late night munchies. You know, you're getting
We're
drunk
college
with the
students.
boy.
We're studying. We're depressed. We're stressed. You know, we need to eat, and y'all closing at 7 p.m. Like,
Yeah,
hello.
I'm just like, yo, come on. I don't want to.
Come on.
I don't want to get. I mean, I don't want to get fast food. You know, I want to get something slightly better than fast food. So like fast casual. You know, stuff.
Just one level above.
But yeah, I guess like honestly, like for me personally, my experience with Davis is like, oh yeah, it was great. You know, nature vibes, cool. Biking was fun. I think biking was kind of like a double-edged sword though, because some days it was horrible to bike, and then
You're right.
other days it was
Biking,
just
I
like,
forgot
whoa,
about that.
so nice, so nice.
There's definitely days when you're biking and you're
Uh-huh.
like going through these neighborhoods you get lost in Davis, and you're like, dang, this is a nice little town.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, there's a car. You're like, whoa. But like everybody knows how many bikers there are, so drivers are so respectable to the bikers, and it's just the rain and the wind, man. When it's rainy and windy, I don't even want to go to class. I'm just gonna stay home because I don't want to ride a bike. I don't want to get on a bus and be all clammy and sweaty and like, moist. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just pass out. No class.
Okay, so someone just gifted a sub on my channel. So I have to do some push-ups because one sub is 3 push-ups. So I'm just gonna do some push-ups right now. And my brother gifted a sub. So
Casually.
yeah, so I'm gonna go do some push-ups right here. So
Yeah, do it, dude. Give us some good ones. Look at it. Look at those calves. Look at those calves. Wait, that's it? Just 5?
yeah, so yeah, going back to it, I thought like pros was. I know, you gotta keep the show going, you know. Dude, wait, why do you keep gifting subs, dude? Stop it.
Just 5 wasn't enough. They want more, John.
Yeah, we gotta do 3 more push-ups now.
The people what they want.
What the heck is going on? Dude, maybe this was a mistake. Dude, stop gifting me subs.
Look at him get there. Maybe this is a mistake.
Dude, they always get me with this. So, if you do follow me on Twitch, you need a Twitch account, by the way. But there's channel points, and one of the channel points it costs is 300 points. The only way to earn it, you have to watch my stream during the duration. So you gain points. Freaking, I'm tired. You gain points passively, and then you could just like make me do push-ups. But I don't recommend doing it right now. But yeah.
Please, no, I'm done for the night. Please stop.
Yeah. So Davis, great place. Dude, really?
Every time he pauses, he's like, yeah, so.
Dude,
this
someone
is
just
on the
did it.
ground.
Oh my gosh, dude. Okay. It's not as bad.
That was like 1, John.
Dude, this is like,
my
see,
God.
this is the life of a streamer. It's not.
I didn't know you were a half-ass pusher-upper, sir.
What? It's just the camera angle. It's fully.
No, I literally saw you seen him at 1, and he came back up.
It was 2 push-ups, by the way.
Oh, it was 2. By the way, woman.
So yeah.
Davis is pretty cool. Cowtown.
Yeah. So before Davis, like Isaiah mentioned earlier, we were all transfer here. Shout out to community college. Shout out to Deanza. Cool times. If you guys can give your shout outs to your community college, dude.
Shout out to COC Cock, College of the Canyons.
Dude, they're throwing in the push-up meters. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I think you have to do it, John. You have to do
Dude,
it.
it's like 4 push-ups. I'm gonna let it until they use all
Can
their.
you move the chair so we can see your form, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Sam.
Okay, so look at his first cut. Look at this guy.
Look at this.
You're so white.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm just double checking if they're making me do more push-ups.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna make you do more push-ups.
But yeah, going
He's like, Jesus Christ.
But going back to the question, yeah. What was your life basically before Davis? I know, like as a transfer, usually
Making us go back in time.
going back in time, you know, these questions they hit. They hit.
I didn't hit John.
Life before Davis. That's the question.
Yeah.
You different, dude.
Um,
So different, dude.
I can start it off. Life before
You
Davis.
different. I'm getting a little more buzz now.
Before Davis. Wow, that's a great question. Okay, here's a strange. I'm gonna start off with like a observation I just realized right now. Before Davis, I was a lot more outgoing.
Yeah.
It definitely was a lot more outgoing, and I don't mean to say that Davis like conditioned me to be more introverted, but for some reason, like studying so much at Davis, and just the way that I was like my lifestyle at Davis, became a little more introverted.
Yeah.
But before Davis, I was a lot more outgoing. I partied a lot more. I hung out with a lot more people. I had a bigger circle of friends.
Yeah.
A much bigger circle of friends. And I just craved a lot more social time. I don't know what happened, but it might have been because of Davis or not. But
Priorities changed.
priorities changed. That's a really good point too.
Yeah.
I became a lot more focused on different things, and different things appealed to me over time. But before Davis, I was actually in Santa Rosa. I don't know if you know this, John, but I was in Santa Rosa.
Yeah, I know.
I was staying with an aunt. No, you don't?
I do know.
Yeah.
But it's for the stream,
Yeah.
so just explain everything.
Do it for the stream.
I figured you did, but I wasn't sure. But I went to Santa Rosa for like a year, and I like knew no one there. I just went there just to finish up my last year in community college, and you probably know this.
Yeah.
But before I went there, I was a lot more outgoing. Like I was hanging out with a lot more people, doing a lot more things.
Mm-hmm.
And going to Santa Rosa, for my last year of community college, and working like 25 hours or so a week maybe.
Damn.
Just went like complete opposite. Like I just started like just working and doing school more. I stopped hanging out with people. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then at Davis, it went like back up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But then it went down again. Like I started to get a little more like I guess introverted, but not really. I mean, I'm still extroverted in many ways. But
Yeah.
right before Davis, as you can see, was like a bunch of hills and valleys, I guess.
Waves.
Wavy.
It was. I think I feel the same because for me, I was like after high school, bro, I was just like shut off like to the entire world or something. I was just in my mode, in my mood, just feeling myself. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I was just like,
That's all that to go. I'm just kidding. Like,
I was just like, oh, I would just go to school, either go to like my part-time job and then just go home or just go to school because my schedule had like, I would have the weirdest schedule. I have school at like 10 a.m. and then my class is like 5 p.m. Is either
oh wow.
I waste gas and go home or just stay there the whole day and just force myself at the library. It was like one of those two. And I was just like, damn, this kind of sucks. This freaking blows. It's hard to make friends when you don't know anyone, especially when there's like no mutual friends. But yeah, if you want to talk, Sam, you can go ahead.
He's like, by the way, speak. I think I jokingly, half jokingly, was like Isaiah was very different, but as I thought about that, I was like, dang, I was different too. I think the older I get, though, my energy has been like decreasing, like reasonably though.
Yeah.
And I, not to sound like, I'm not trying to sound like about this.
Hey, go ahead.
But,
Go
like,
ahead.
I think I was lying to myself a lot more before Davis.
Yeah.
I wasn't being realistic with myself and specifically with my mental health. And I think Davis, those two years really took a 180 on my mental health and my self-awareness.
Yeah.
And it was actually a lot, to be honest, because it was like, oh my gosh, the past 21 years I've been lying to myself, I feel like, or
Yeah.
like, it just hit hard, but I feel like it had to happen to me at some point, and I think I think I'm glad that that's what shifted me in Davis. Like one of my memories of Davis is because that's one of the things I really like about Davis is I don't know about you guys, but I feel like our school really emphasized the resources for mental health.
Yeah.
And because it was so put out there, it kind of did make an impact on me because I was like, maybe I should seek help. And I feel like the people that I met in Davis too really pushed for that. Like I don't know, I doubt she'll see this, but like my best friend Gabby, I know you've seen her and you met her, but like she and Isaiah especially have been really pushing my growth with how I view myself and how I view the world. And not to sound like bleak about this, but before Davis, I didn't care about myself like at all. And I think after Davis, I started to learn what it means to care about myself,
Yeah.
I also noticed my energy level toned down. I think I'm just starting to maybe I'm getting old, but like
It's just Isaiah infecting you. No, I was kidding.
so, I was like always so like I had energy, And,
Yeah.
I mean, I used to work at In and Out for 3 years right before Davis too. So like that kind of environment, the fast pace and the urgency and the burgers, So I'm moving and I'm eating and I'm going and I'm always spinning.
Yeah.
Going to Davis, I committed to doing only school no part-time job. So because I was fully committing to school, that took a big shift for me
Yeah.
because I went from working like 35 hours a week, part-time school, part-time like 16, 18 units,
Yeah.
to just doing 12 units and struggling to do those 12 units and not making money. So I'm just like, I'm doing less units, I'm more stressed, I'm not making money,
Yeah.
and I'm doing what does this mean? But on the latter end, I'm making memories that I never knew I would make,
Yeah.
and I'm learning things about myself that I never knew I would learn. Because it's strange. I came to Davis and I was so ready to get a 4.0 and to like, it's weird. I told myself, don't make any friends, Sammy. Like, go to orientation, meet who you gotta meet, and just graduate in 2 years. Focus on school. But then
Dude.
look who I freaking met. You know? I met Isaiah, Gabby, Ryan, all of you guys. You know,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of crazy how I came in with that strong mentality to not make friends, and I ended up leaving with the like impeccable quality of friends that I know I will carry with for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of crazy because I'm coming, I'm like, I'm not gonna make any friends, school only, and then I'm
Yeah.
leaving, I'm like, see you at my wedding, bro. You know, I'm like,
mean-
it's just so crazy.
On what Sam is saying right now too
Yeah.
about unexpected relationships and unexpected outcomes is reminded me of earlier about recommendations.
Yeah.
My recommendation, not on, I mean, said would I recommend Davis?
Yeah.
Definitely would. But
By the way,
but when you talk about recommendations in any school, I recommend having a big net. You know, like when you go fishing, you ever see like those like those commercial
Yeah.
fishing,
The
but
ones that
that's-
like the commercial fishing ones, right?
yeah.
like from Nemo, all the fish got
Yeah,
caught.
exactly. When you first go to any school, whether it be Davis or Berkeley, and I'm
Uh-huh.
not sure if people, I mean, I'm not sure if people are still going to, or, yeah, make a big net. Like, just make yourself big in that way so you can at least meet people
Yeah.
and just contact people, because I feel like in college people remember that, right? Even if it's not a long or a deep relationship.
The
Yeah.
gesture.
Yeah, if you
The
just
interaction.
like in any way make a somewhat decent attempt to connect with someone, and by that I mean like have a big net, try to catch as much as you can
Yeah.
in terms of people experiences, it should last a lifetime with social media.
Sorry, I went like that because I was thinking about the people who have made all those little interactions with me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my gosh, John is one of them. He's in my
What?
net. I was in my net, like, what are you doing here? You know? And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's kind of crazy, because it's one thing to meet a mutual friend of your significant other,
Yeah.
you know, but it's one thing to actually want to be friends with them too. Like talking to you, Chris, and Grant, and talking to you guys, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're actually talking back to me, you know? And it's kind of, it's nice. It's very like, it makes me feel like it's less, it's always going to be, I met you through Isaiah, you know? But it
Yeah.
feels less one-sided when you guys make the mutual effort and be like, hey, Sam, what are you doing here? How are you? You know? It's just, those little interactions, they do go a long way, and I'm not gonna forget them. I'm not gonna forget when you guys came out of Gordon Ramsay's class and you guys talked to me. You know, things like that. Like those, I'm gonna remember those things.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Especially like
On your stream, like what the heck, John?
I know. I like
Who would've
honestly.
thought?
Honestly, like during the pandemic, I was just like, dude, maybe like I don't know if I'm gonna talk to anyone for a while, right? Especially like COVID happening, and especially spring quarter. That spring quarter when everything started to go online, I was just like, dude, I miss so many things. Going to Stats Lounge, hanging out with y'all, just going to like a few parties. Like we were supposed to go to picnic day or something like that, but it didn't happen. Like stuff like that, we missed out. I just felt like, damn, I'm just on my computer all the time, just going through lecture and then just half-ass listening and just sitting there. And then after that, I was just like, oh, maybe like, oh, I want to hang out with the boys after, go to the lounge, do some math problems, do some stats problems. But that didn't happen. I'm just like, oh, I'm just back in my bed, just withering away.
But it's like those moments when you
Yeah.
are able to be in person with your friends, and even if you guys are studying together, studying together, making jokes together, and it feels less alone, I guess, and like
Yeah.
better, at least with the right people, you know.
That's true. I definitely miss like that time when it was just me and Isaiah and Chris after Woman. I think it was after
Holy
like
Trinity.
yeah.
That's so
I think it was after like 141A, and it was like after a final or something. I think it was the final. We just sat there for an hour in front of Wellman, like just talking. We didn't really do anything. We just looked at the grass. We're like, wow, the grass looks nice today. I don't know. It's just
grass looks nice today.
it was fun. I actually like genuinely enjoy like just you know it's not a waste of time. It's just having fun sitting looking at grass. And I think especially I think even summer quarter happened or summer session and like after class we were like what feeding a squirrel or something. It was kind of funny too. So
Yeah, it was.
Just stats boy things, you know.
yeah,
Just
just
feeding
like
people
the smallest things just like are like the biggest memories of college because I think after college
true.
I don't remember much about lecture. I just remember what happens after lecture. It's kind of weird.
Wait, that sounded nice though. I think you're right. 'Cause I definitely don't remember the lectures. But you know what? You guys are stats majors. I was animal science. While y'all are like regressing and stuff, the main thing I'm learning about are balls. You know, I learned a lot about balls, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh my gosh! And I'm like, it's always sperm and ovaries and all this stuff, and I'm just like, how many times do I have to learn about this? You know?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember that. Like no matter how many times they teach me that every class, I'm just being like, what happened after class though? You know, who did I talk to after class?
Yeah.
Who after class was like, hey Sam, bye Sam. Who had the door for me? It was like my lady, you know, things like that. And I'm just like, I didn't think about that though. You don't think about that at the moment. You don't realize that these little interactions after class and after all these school affiliated things, you don't realize that that's what you're going to remember the most until X amount of time from then, you know?
Yeah. It's like I think
Until you're on John's stream. And you're
Yeah,
like,
so,
oh, shit. Oh,
I
wow.
I think nostalgia is like one of I think it's surprisingly that is like one of the biggest driving factors of just like life. Just reminiscing things and just like realize you just experienced that because it's like the good memories, right? It's like kind of a drug. I'll just say that out loud, right? You wanna relapse into it. You wanna go back to it. You just wanna remember it, like as much as like you want to stay present and look forward to the future. You're always looking at the past and trying to just relive the memories. To be honest.
Dude, John, I don't know if this spices up your stream, but I think I mildly disagree with you.
Okay, go ahead.
No? Can I spice it up a bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
I definitely, when I think about it, because I definitely didn't look back on those things literally until I was on your stream. You know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
But in the meantime, because which is what I'm grateful for. Like I'm really glad that we were able to do this and go on your stream because I didn't know what you were gonna be asking us. I didn't know what was going on. But you're like, hey guys, Davis. And like the questions you ask, it's maybe questions that I should have asked myself after Davis. You know,
Yeah.
reflective questions. So I'm glad that you're asking them because I'm like, damn, I'm reflecting right now. Oh, shoot, you know?
Dude, this
So, like,
stream goes hard. No, I was kidding.
for real. 'Cause otherwise, like, I really don't think, I don't know when I would reflect on these things.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think I spend a lot of my time thinking about past and trying to relive it, honestly.
Yeah.
Because not that I had a bad past, but I'm always like I tend to look more forward to what's next.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't have any regrets or anything like that. I definitely miss it. But at the same time, like, you know what? I miss it, but it was nice that it existed.
JKMDO.
Well, let's move forward, you know?
I'll do a push
So I don't really like long for it, but like it definitely feels different right now to be asked the questions that you asked us and thinking about it because I'm definitely feeling things right now. So I'm just like, is it the Modelo or is it John? You know? I'm like the questions you ask, I'm like, wow, I totally did not think about how I really felt about Davis. Those 2 years went by quick. That's why, you know, I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I felt like it went by just like that. And I feel really sad for like the transfer students that transferred right at the time of COVID because they spent their 2 years at Davis online at home. you know, and I'm like that makes me sad, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, someone just followed me. I kind of lost it.
I'm so sorry. I'm so,
I gotta do
I'm
a push up real
let me
quick.
just drop all these words. I dropped the mic. He's like, yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna do a push up real quick.
Oh, he was,
I know, but that was funny. I liked it. He's like, yeah, for
Dude,
sure.
hey, Jake, don't worry about it. Maybe next time I'll have you up on the show. Usually for now
You got a new follower?
yeah. If Jake MDL, usually typical tangents. If you have tuned in, it's usually with friends and stuff. By the way, I don't really know who you are, to be honest. I'll be honest with you, but thanks for the follow. By the way, means a lot. Maybe one day, throughout time, we create a bond, a relationship. Maybe you can get onto the show. I can become a friend. Yes, totally.
Yes.
But like, because read my other chat. I'll sub you play on the song on the piano. No, it's cool. It's cool if I don't want to play a song on the piano right now. Maybe I'll. There was a, there was a piano stream like on Tuesday last week, so I'm sorry about
Maybe
that.
if you tuned in on Tuesday, you would have seen it.
No. Just wow, wow. But sorry about that. Maybe I'll do a piano stream. You don't even have to sub, dude. Maybe I'll do a piano stream someday. Save. I have a good one. Sorry about that. So yeah,
You're good. This is entertaining.
I'm gonna go back. It's cool if you feel that type of way. Sorry for the rejection, but I feel personally, typical tangents is a segment where I want to bring in personal friends. You could become my friend like in one day, but not at the moment. So so sorry.
Call us personal friends.
Are you not? Asking?
You just, I know, but like maybe to Isaiah, he's like, I've been personal, but to me, I'm just like, I'm personal.
Dude, I think I share a lot with you guys, so it's like, I always love talking to y'all. So it's even though like
Most conversation I've had with John was on LinkedIn.
yeah, like even though like we don't even talk like that much, like I don't know, I just like your guys' vibe. That's why.
Different, John.
Yeah.
You're different. Jay Shittle. He's like, okay.
Yeah, but sorry about that.
You're good.
I'm kind of lost. I'm kind of lost now.
No, you're good. I just finished talking about how I was like, you just finished saying how it's not, how you like reminisce and you live in the, you miss that and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spice it up. I don't live in the past. I don't think I do. I don't think I do.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't think about it as much as I thought I would. You know? Because I think life just moves so fast, and like we just graduated. I'm working, and the next thing in my mind, I'm not pausing. I'm not thinking. I don't have a moment gap, really, like because I'm already thinking now. When am I gonna study for the GRE? When am I gonna take a GRE? When am I gonna apply to vet schools? And then after vet school, 4 years go by. When am I gonna graduate? When am I gonna do this? When am I gonna get a dog?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah. When are you gonna get a dog?
Thank you, John. 2028. Yeah.
Okay.
At the same time, though, John, you can probably disagree and agree with anything, right? You can find a reason.
Yeah.
You support something or why you don't support something. You can sit and think about it for hours, and you'll find a bunch of reasons for or against something.
Yeah.
But definitely one thing for what you said.
Yeah.
With nostalgia being a drug and wanting and cherishing and living those moments, is that in some ways, like you're collecting things, right? And they're memories, but it's a collection thing. And if you don't return to them periodically, you'll lose fragments of them.
Well, you're right.
So if something is a strong memory, if you don't return to them periodically, fragments will be lost.
Yeah.
So you're not maintaining.
Because the more often you reoccur things and you remember them, the more fresher, more and more of it stays in your mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So in some ways, it's good to, in some ways, be what people negatively describe as living in the past.
Yeah.
you don't lose the fragments of the things you collected, right? But at the same time, the counter is that you can't move forward when you're in the
Yeah.
past.
But if you're stuck
The,
in the past,
if you're stuck, yeah. But even then, I mean, you only have so much. You only have so much cognitive power. Like I can't sit. It's hard for me to sit and appreciate a memory while simultaneously thinking about how I'm going to approach this new thing I want to do. Like you can't simultaneously think of two things. I mean, maybe you can. I can,
Yeah.
but I can't. I can't maintain two thoughts to a degree of like competence.
Yeah.
Right? I have to have one or the other. I have to think about my cherished memories, or I have to think about the future.
Yeah.
Right.
and you do think at the
Yeah.
same time the rare moments that you do kind of feels not chaotic but cloudy almost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You stirred up. You just stirred you're a mess. Like you're overwhelmed by
You're just like
time and experience.
It's just like
I agree. That's a good point too.
yeah, I guess yeah. Sometimes I do it that does happen a lot, like thinking both in the past and the future. Like you think about like a mistake that you don't even think that you'll make in the future because you haven't tried it yet. It's like it's weird. I can't go deep into it, but yeah.
But
for
it makes sense.
Yeah,
I
it makes sense.
agree
It's-
with what he's saying too.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to subconsciously not think about the past. When you do consciously think about the past, you don't realize what you're doing at that moment either. You don't realize that you're remembering this for X amount of more years, and you don't realize and you don't know how many years you could have gone by without recalling that past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? That's why I really like that I really did not know what you were gonna ask us. I was almost gonna text you, John. What should we prepare for? What should we do? But I was like,
I don't tell you the questions. I
"Ah."
just
So I was
say.
like- But then I'm really glad that you asked us these questions because I'm just like, damn, I didn't think about this because like right after I graduated, because I graduated after you guys. I graduated in December,
Yeah.
and thankfully right after I graduated, I started working just 2-3 weeks after.
Yeah.
But as I started working though, I just got into that work mode right away, and I didn't take time at all to myself to think about how was that? How were those 2 years at Davis? What did I learn? What did I not learn? What do I regret? If
Yeah.
I do regret anything.
Yeah.
I always say that, but I don't have any regrets to be honest. I'm like we took so many classes. I'm not the best student, but even then, I don't regret anything, and I don't know, that's just me. I strongly believe that everything happens for a reason. And I don't know, but I realized that my life after graduating went so quickly, a lot quicker than I expected.
Yeah.
But because of that, I didn't even give a second to think about what was my life like before Davis and
Yeah.
during Davis and after Davis. And I'm just like, oh my God, damn, John, you're hitting hard with these questions. But looking back at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that we're on this stream and he's asking us these questions because I'm really thinking about them now. And it's one thing to give an answer on your stream off the top of my head, but at the same time, like, the top of your head, is that more raw than if you sat down with it more? Too,
I mean, these questions, I just put them out there.
Like, it's just from our stream, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
y'all bring up depression and philosophy.
I mean, like, if you're not ready for it, it's like completely understandable. Like, I don't know. I just like, oh, maybe we'll just come up with some questions to think about. But
Right.
yeah, moving on. I'm just gonna move on from that topic. But
Yeah.
so one question that for me I thought of. Do you think so? Like, coming from community college, definitely 4-year university. You heard it when you were younger or in high school, stuff like that. College. It's where your life changes. Certain expectations is very high for it. Like, wow, if you were a loner in high school, it would be completely different in college. Or so they say, right? But do you feel like the expectations for college may be too hype or like overrated in a sense? Like, well, you go to a 4-year university, maybe come out with the 6-figure job, stuff like that. You hear those coming around, but my question personally is like, do you think
That realistic?
are they realistic? Like going to college, does that make it
Okay.
realistic?
I need to ask a clarifying question first because you
Uh-huh.
said about you're talking about transformative things.
Yeah.
Being a kind of a reserved person to blossoming, someone going from rags to riches.
Yeah.
So do you mean about transformative expectations where the expectations that you would transform are higher than they actually are?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm asking, but you just word it way better.
Can you say that again?
Well, when he was, because he mentioned two examples. He mentioned the first one being an individual who transforms to being reserved to maybe more outgoing.
Oh, he's
right?
asking if
And
the
then
transformative phase is that expectation for that is realistic.
well, he gave that example, yes, but he gave the second example of going into college, making a lot of money out of college, as if you go from rags to riches in a way.
Mhm.
So he's talking about two transformative outcomes, right? Which is being one social or psychological, and the other
Yeah.
one being financial, right?
Yeah.
Or just goals, right? I think that you can't expect college to be a machine that will just change you.
Yeah.
The individual has to be willing. The individual has to exert something. They have to be willing to accept what college is trying to do to them, right?
Yeah.
And what they will allow it to do.
Yes, they have to
Yeah.
ride the wave, or they have to do. They have to put some kind of labor forward,
Mhm.
right? You can't expect something to just change you while you resist, because you might overcome that. You might resist it greater than its change.
Yeah.
So I think that yes, it can be hyped,
Yeah.
can be too much hyped, but I worry that the reason why people say it's hyped
Yeah.
is because there was no labor.
Uh-huh.
What did you do? What were your actions? Like, what was actionable, right?
Oh, and with that too, though, who are the expectations coming from? What generation and how different was college for them?
That's true, right?
Yeah.
You know, like how I don't want to say easier, but how different was it? You know, and these
Yeah.
expectations coming from boomers. You know, as you can't help
Hey,
but, like,
this is a millennial Zoomer stream, so no biggie.
he's like millennials only, you know. But like realistically, like what was college like for them, and do they have those same expectations? And is it realistic to have the same
Yeah.
expectations for such different times?
Yeah,
You know, oh my god, look at my vein! Oh my god,
I'm shredded.
Yeah, someone's shredded. Someone's yoked.
it's the modelo.
Yeah, boomers, baby boomers. We should, if this don't exist already, we should call ourselves Zoomers.
Yeah, they actually do. They call the Gen Zer Zoomers, actually.
Wait, really? We're
Yeah.
Zoomers?
Okay.
Yeah.
Zoomers.
But it's weird because we're in like that niche spot where like technically you could be a millennial, but technically you could be a Zoomer, because because you didn't grow up on like certain things like TikTok and stuff like that.
We are all
TikTok.
we're on the end point of
Yeah.
millennial. Like, we're on the far end point of millennial.
I think our specific age group too, 96 to 97 or 98, whatever you want to call it.
That's the
it's
border.
literally, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
That's the
It's-
boundary.
It's
After
the
that,
it's the peak of the parabola or something. I don't know.
Stop!
Is that
Do you guys consider yourself more millennial or more Zoomer?
I downloaded TikTok recently, so I'm more Zoomer at the moment.
That changes everything.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I think the way I am, like tech savvy wise, I feel like I am more Zoomer. Like I understand like the current lingo of things going on. Like, oh, you're capping. Oh,
It took me so long to understand. Like, I don't, he'll always be like, no cap, no cap. Like, capping what? What are you capping? And he was like, no. Capping means like bullshit, things like that. And I was like,
yeah,
oh, then cap. And it took me so long. He was just, but to him, it's so natural.
yeah,
That lingo, that our lingo that was natural for us, I don't realize that this is their lingo that's natural
Yeah.
for them. You know?
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Sam? Do you to answer John's question? Do you think that the expectations of transformation are greater than they actually are.
Yes, I think they are. Because, like, I think if I can be honest, speaking from my own personal experience, I'm a first generation Korean American.
Yeah.
Instantly, people see already as Asian, and I'm not here to like boast or brag on the side.
Yeah.
But it just happened to roll out that way for my life. I was class president my 3 years of high school, and I was student body president.
Yeah.
Because of that, though, people thought she's president, she's Asian, she's applying to Harvard, Stanford, UCLA, USC, and to me, I was like, I never even bothered applying to those schools. I didn't want to get in because I sucked at school. So I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was just a social butterfly. That's why I was president.
I applied to schools that I thought, please accept me, but I didn't get into many, or I only got into 3, and it was kind of crazy because, where I live, all the Asians, just specifically all the Koreans, they just know each other,
Yeah.
and several times mothers ran into my mom and they're like, you're Sammy's mom, Samantha Chung's mom, and they would legit tell her, how does it feel? Is she going to Stanford or Harvard? And my mom, not to be offensive, she laughed. And she was like, girl, she can't even apply. Who are you thinking about?
Yeah.
And they were like, what? And my mom was like, no, she's not applying to those schools. Then my mom, who knows me, she was laughing about it. And she was like, isn't it funny that all these people expect you to go to Harvard and Stanford and UCLA and USC? Yeah. And I was like, I guess it's funny. But I was like, I wasn't too fazed by it. But it was strange because everyone around me kind of expected that out of me, to go to a nice, good, named four-year university. My parents were actually completely different from that. So I only got into 3 schools, and none of those 3 were Davis, and I really wanted to go to Davis. So when I didn't get into them, my parents were like, I mean, go to Cal State Monterey Bay. But I was like, but they don't have Adams side. Sorry, I'm like almost done. So much burping.
It's fine.
And then I guess with the social stigma with Asian American families, being a little more resistant to community college, I was very scared of that. I was so scared to tell my parents that I would rather go to community college and transfer out to Davis.
Yeah.
But I told them that I didn't want to go to Monterey Bay. My dad and mom looked at me like, then go to community college and transfer out. And I was like, what? Why are they suggesting this? They suggested it with so much calmness and so much support and just true, genuine, like, Sammy, if this is where you want to go to community college, work your ass off, and go to Davis.
Your parents.
No, and I was just like, I know. I was like, whoa, and I was like, okay. And there was a lot of times where, Asian parents, they just compare their kids a lot, Yeah. And a lot of my dad's friends would be like, my daughter's going to Stanford, my daughter's going to an Ivy League, all these schools,
Yeah.
And my dad, he was never embarrassed to say that I was going to a community college. He was never embarrassed. He was always proud of me. And instead, he would hit them with is your daughter happy, though?
Oh.
And I'm just like, Daddy! But, it's questions like that I'm just like, wow, the expectations that the world had, I feel like, for me, was so here. But my parents' expectation for me I think was a little bit more realistic. Not that it was lower necessarily, but it was more realistic. I think that made a big difference with how I feel about my own progression with academics and with myself, because after all that, 3 years of community college, I met all of you guys, and that would have never happened if I had gone to Monterey Bay instead.
Yeah.
And it's because of the pressure to go there, So I don't think that it's realistic, but I kind of like that it's not realistic because it brings us back to what Isaiah mentioned and you guys mentioned before about how you don't really expect to control these outcomes.
Yeah.
When they happen, they've happened,
Yeah.
and now you go from there.
Yeah, that was a great story.
I
Honestly, your parents are so supportive. I feel like growing up for me, I had certain expectations as well. Just for me personally, Like I came into college just like, yo, this is gonna be the best time of my life. You know, it's gonna be wild. Maybe join some fraternity or sorority or fraternity, not sorority, but something like that. You know, go wild and out, dude. Maybe get a tattoo sleeve or something like that. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But that honestly, that truly never happened. I was just, I was just doing my own thing at that time.
I was doing stats.
Yeah, I was in the moment, bro. I didn't have time, bro. You know how hard like Rasas's class was? Holy dude, I would not trade like any time like hazing stuff like that just for the times like I spent with Isaiah and Chris and stuff. It's crazy.
That time is irreplaceable. Like,
Yeah.
How fast my fingers moved? Oh my god. Look at them.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, moving on though, like, what's your guys's? I mean, I think this is more light question, but what's your opinion of like fraternities and sororities and stuff? And do you feel like they're outdated, or do you feel like they're controversial, or do you think it's like, oh, well, it's an org, people can join if they want. It's a great way to expand your network, like Isaiah said earlier, your big net coming through with that. Just
Your
join.
Nemo fish.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like I think fraternities and sororities are often like a topic of controversy when you go into like a 4-year university.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, but I think being that
Did you see that?
I think being that none of us have been in a sorority or frat,
Yeah.
it's a bit difficult to answer accurately.
I
right?
went to fraternity parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've been to parties, but
But I
to-
never was in it, no.
to be in the actual to be actually in it, I think none of us have experience with that. It is controversial, and I think especially in the way it gets out of hand,
Yeah.
right? However, those are bigger headlines when things are out of hand
Yeah.
and when things are, for lack of better words, in hand. Like when things are actually going well, when things are good when those social groups are good for the people in it. Why does it not make headlines?
Yeah.
Well, because it's not negative enough.
Yeah.
Ha! That's
Right?
true. That's true.
It's
You
not,
like hearing the negative.
the astonishing, the like the thing that makes people like shocked and like horrified slightly, and that's more a bigger headline. You're not going to see in the headline today this in a frat in this group, this person Joe Schmo
Yeah.
is having a great time, is having a lot of fun, become a better person. It doesn't make a headline,
Yeah.
right? And
That's
so
true.
it's a one-sided controversy
Yeah.
because the lands of being that the portrait is that sororities and frats could be potentially dangerous, and that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
But let's talk about I feel like there's a sense of accuracy missing there.
Yeah.
And you haven't been in a frat, and I haven't either, so I wonder about it.
Yeah. I was trying to get, low key, I kind of like last minute drop, try to get Dale in here, because we know Dale's in a frat.
That's true.
And I want to ask him like some genuine questions about being in a fraternity, how it is, stuff like that. But yeah, for sure. I honestly, for me personally, I pledged for like a frat for one day, and I knew it wasn't it for me.
That's right.
Yeah, I was just like,
remember that.
I was just like, dude,
that.
holy crud!
That's the frat that Dale was in.
Yeah, the one that frat. Dale,
he continued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dell went in. I was just like, I was kind of realistic with my expectations. I was just like, yo, I don't think I could do this without failing my classes. And
yeah, it was a big commitment, right?
Yeah, it was like so big. I was just like, wait, why is this? Why? It's like, how do you even be a student still? It's just like, it doesn't make sense.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I was still listening, by the way.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is your bathroom like right there?
Yes, God, it's right there.
Yeah. I think so. To answer your question, maybe one more time, a little more clearly.
Yeah.
I don't have much thought on them because I haven't been in them.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into the controversies. I know that they've gotten out of hand a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But again, I think that that's potentially misleading because they're not out of hand a lot of the times too.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Right. Of course they party. I mean, come on. But in terms of being, mostly inappropriate, I think that they don't do that mostly. That's just my thought. I don't know, Sam. What do you think? Do you have any thoughts on stories and frets?
That was a really good transition. So yeah.
It's like, yeah, she got back to the bathroom. We gotta get her.
I think. Oh my god. I think my opinion would be a little different because I am a girl, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And at the same time, honestly, like I'm not a party person.
Oh, okay.
You know, and if I'm at a party, I need to have alcohol. Otherwise, I'm just like, I get pretty shy, honestly. You know.
Dude, I don't find you shy, Sam. Not at all,
I'm
actually.
not shy, God. So, like, if it weren't for my friend Gabby, I would have never gone to any party or any frat party because she knew a lot more frat guys, so she had a lot more of the inside connection to cut the line and go in right away. It was kind of cool, but then like we always went together as just us two girls.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
But like there have definitely been experiences that I have seen on the outside as a girl where it's like, oh, sometimes the stereotype of frat guys. Are we allowed to cuss on the stream?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not like.
No,
I'm
what's
not.
the age limit on this?
There's no age limit, but whatever. I don't think people that tune in are like 5. So they just see people. They probably rather go watch some guy play Minecraft or something. So.
But like in that sense, like you know that stereotype that frat guys are like douches and dicks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think that they are all like that.
Yeah.
No, I have definitely met some quality guys that are in frats that don't have the best reputations. These guys, their heart is there, you know? But there are definitely also a handful of guys that do fit that stereotype. And I have seen that. But at the same time, like, I didn't have, like, a giant friend group, you know? Like, people that I knew at Davis, I knew more or less, I think mostly as acquaintances and maybe as study buddies. But like for the most part, my closer circle didn't really go out to those parties often, you know? So my opinion about it was only that the stereotypical douchebags, they definitely do exist.
Yeah.
But I didn't know and I didn't expect for good guys to exist too, to be honest. Because I always heard only nothing but bad about frats, you know?
Yeah.
I've nothing but that. So I just assumed it would be nothing but douches. When I went there, I was like, you know what? You're a gentleman. You're nice. You're hard. I'm like, and you're in this frat? You know, I bet there's more to it, but it made me realize on my own end that I was like, you know what? It's not what I expected. And it's nice that it wasn't what I expected, you know?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I know even like for sure, like for me, like even after I like did all that thing for like one day, like I was still cool with them. Like they would see me around, I would say hi and stuff. But I was like low key inside, like freaking it. Why did you guys let me go through that? Like that was not cool. But like dude, like I was like, dude, this pledging? Oh, nah. And it's like, damn, I understand. Like, oh, obviously you want to build like a common bond with your brethren, and then.
Oh, but you mentioned that. You asked about the connections and stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely think I have seen on a third perspective, I've definitely seen guys appropriately benefiting from each other as we all kind of do in terms of connections after college. You know, and I'm like, wow, the connections are definitely there because they really are for each other, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely see.
Yeah, but I think I got one more question to ask. If I'm maybe not, I'm not too sure. But we'll come with this one coming top of my head. I don't really have any.
You thinking this right now?
No, it's cool. I'm not gonna. If I don't come up with the question, I'll probably end it here. But I can't come up with a question. I mean, if you have questions too, it's by all means. It's even though I'm the host, it's
I have a
always
question for you. I do have a question for you.
yeah.
How has it been for you? Like, I noticed that you've been very actively, consistently streaming and
Yes.
very actively, like, posting very intentional, like, things you plan out. And I'm wondering,
Yeah.
like, what's that like, dude? Like, you're planning out your shows and your streams, and it's like, I feel like there's a lot more work and thought to it than I think there really is. And I wouldn't know, you know? So I'm curious, like, how's that going for you, dude? Like, what's that like?
I mean, like, so I'm unemployed at the moment, which is I don't know how I feel about that. I'm just like,
Gang,
oh, it's
gang.
kind of like a blessing, so I could do this, but at the same time, it's like I'm not making bread, so I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of stuck in this.
But do you like bread, you know?
Yeah, like, oh, maybe I do love streaming more, so I don't know. But I thoroughly enjoy this actually. I always often wanted to be like a content creator. It was like before then in high school, I was always like into vlogging. I would go to vlogs.
Really?
Yeah, I would actually vlog, but they're kind of cringe when I look back at them because it's just like, man,
Aw.
this guy's not as good looking, you know, but as he's now. I mean, it was in high school, and I would just walk around. I went to SoCal a few times, did some vlogs there, but I always had like a niche for like video editing. It's not like crazy.
Been into vlogging since high school.
Yeah, but I kind of stopped after high school. Completely stopped for like 4 years. Didn't do it at all in my college time. I kind of wish I did because like you could just look back and just like, oh wow, these were fun times. But I didn't do that, and then now like getting into like streaming, there's a lot more than just pressing record or like going live. Because like if for me, I feel like this is just like it's not necessarily a grind. It's very enjoyable. I like doing segments. I always come up with ideas in my bed, but the only issue is like it's kind of hard for like one person to do everything. You're the editor. You're the guy that
Because you really are doing everything. You're
Yeah.
recording, you're producing, you're,
Yeah.
editing everything.
Yeah, I'm doing like Photoshop. Like, dude, I didn't even know Photoshop until like this year. So I'm just like, oh, I'm getting way better at Photoshop. I'm getting way better at like Adobe stuff. Like, I'm just like,
Adobe who? He's
yeah,
like-
I'm just like getting better at like certain skills that like, okay, maybe it's not related to my major, but I just find it enjoyable. And I'm just
Happy
like adding new
this.
segments to my stream, like this talk show. Eventually, like I think there was like a new segment today where I just like do a whole presentation just for fun. And just explaining about random topics, to be honest. It's just like, oh, well, welcome back. Let's talk about it. Why you should wear pink, you know, maybe I make a presentation on that or something. But it's
But I like it.
Yeah.
John, you were the first stream that I went on and saw. And
Yeah.
you're the first stream that I've been on too. So to me, I'm just like, wait, what's happening? What's happening on his end? You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the only question I ask myself now it's like, how do I find more people to enjoy my content? Because at the end of the day, I'm a content creator,
And-
right?
Mhm.
Like I have YouTube videos.
Influencer.
I'm not an influencer. I try to be, but I'm not an influencer. But I try to.
You have a product.
Yeah, I try to grow. You know, it's I try to. I'm like basically a marketer as well. Like I like know marketing now. No, I don't know marketing, but I'm just like trying stuff.
Here, he's like, I know marketing now. I don't know marketing.
But I'm just trying stuff to bring myself out there, right? I made like
you're enjoying it though.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what matters.
like dude, I posted more on my like my Twitch Instagram account than my actual Instagram account. So I'm just like
Yeah.
It's like you just find me there nowadays. You don't even find me on my main Instagram account. So that's what's
It's
been
glad
like
that
as
you-
a
it must feel good though to be back on this kind of grind though.
yeah.
After like a 3-4 year gap of not doing that to be able to do this all again.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're almost always busy, you know, doing all this stuff.
Not really. I'll be honest.
Oh
I-
no, really? Is it not take that long to edit and everything?
I mean, the editing portion, it comes a lot, and then the ideas do take a lot too. But like since I'm unemployed, right, I kind of have like all the time that I need to
You're
do this.
chilling.
Yeah,
Ah,
I'm just like
oh.
chilling. But like deep down in myself is like I wanna like make money to make my stream better. Like eventually,
So yeah. So John, when do you think you'll not consider yourself unemployed? In other words, when do you think you'll ever come to a point where you say, yeah, I'm employed, I'm self-employed, I'm a streamer?
So there's this thing called Twitch partner. It's like the next step. It's the check mark. I think that
Mm-hmm.
point, that's when I'm self-employed. When it's pretty hard to get because you have to have like 75
It's called Twitch. What?
It's like your Twitch partner.
So okay, is that like a short? Is that one of your goals?
That's not my goal for this year, but it's my goals for the future. For this
Future.
year, I'm trying to get trying to hit a certain amount of followers, stuff like that. But this is like a long-term goal.
Uh-huh.
Consistency is one of my goals. Try to bring out the same content every week. Not the same content every week, but like same, like just have a schedule listed
Produce.
out. Yeah, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I think for Twitch partner, you have to have like 75 eyes watching you all at once during your whole stream. And right now, like I have 5. So it's kind of that's a huge goal, but for sure
5 is better than none.
yeah,
dude.
5 is better than none. So that's the point where I would consider myself employed. It's like basically the check mark on Twitter. You get verified. So
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your short-term goal is to what? Say that one more time.
75?
my short-term goal at the moment is hopefully by the end of this year 500 followers on my stream. Right now I'm at 111, maybe 112, but I don't know if that guy unfollowed me or followed me or not, so I'm not too sure. Because I kind of like low-key rejected that guy, and I was just like, okay, maybe he unfollowed me because he didn't get what he
Okay.
wanted. But I mean, you have to set boundaries, right? I don't know this person. Like, why would I just bring a stranger on stream? That's kind of weird. It's kind of rude to you guys too, because you guys don't know that person either. So I find it very like I could low key care less if you followed unfollow at that point. Even though it's like a step towards my goal, I care about the
You don't want to
moment.
get caught up and caught.
Yeah, like I care about you guys. Like you guys won't feel comfortable if some stranger came on and started talking. I would feel super uncomfortable because I'm just like I don't know you, bro. I like
I don't think we would even realize, to be honest.
yeah. But for me, I was just like I just find it like just a little rude that like sometimes people may find they feel obligated for some reason just because they followed or they subscribe. I don't feel
Right.
like that's the case. The reason why you subscribe is like you don't want ads on my channel, obviously, and also you enjoy my content ad free. but that's like the only reason why. It's not for you to get like special privileges. It's just for you just to enjoy my content more genuinely and just feel like if ads are in the way, that's understandable, and you go out of your way and pay $5 for it. And also if you're a great friend. But besides the friend point, it's just like, oh, I don't know. It's like a parasocial relationship. So I like I know like when you get big, that becomes like a huge issue because people would come into your chat. I notice all the time like people would come into other people's chat and be like, dude, you changed my life. No, I didn't, but I just like people would be like, oh, I just
Wow.
make content. I don't do that. I don't change people's lives. Like
But
you
you're
just
not
enjoy
here
my
to
stuff.
change lives. You're here
Yeah.
to just make good content.
Yeah, you're just supposed to be here to enjoy. I mean, I understand like this might be an escape from your reality and stuff and want to get away from things, but I'm not your savior. I'm not Jesus Christ. Happy Easter. But but yeah, that's how I feel about streaming. It's just like it's just weird when people just come in the chat and just expect they want something.
Life changing
Yeah.
person. But you're just like, dude, I'm just here to have a good time and give you guys a good time. Let's
Yeah.
vibe. You know?
Yeah, like that's
You're
it.
like,
That's
you
great.
changed my life. And you're like,
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten to that point yet. I think at one point, if I do continue streaming and like and I do get a partner, I think at that point people will start saying that. But I think it's being famous, like or getting somewhat famous. It's still like there's still an issue there. So I don't know. It's kind of scary.
there's always gonna be.
Yeah. I mean, I'm putting myself out there. Like, people kind of know how my room looks like now. They know my face, like my socials, stuff like that.
I look when I do push-ups.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm doing for now. Like, what I'm doing is just preparing like the small steps. So eventually there will be a big step that I can overcome in the future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't have any more questions, because I certainly
That was my
don't.
only question. I was wondering, like, you know,
uh, I mean, like,
thank you for
so
answering.
yeah. So if you don't have any more questions, I think I'll end this segment of the stream. I'll probably end my stream after this. But once again, thank you, Isaiah and Sam, for coming on to the show. Shout out to y'all. I thought you guys would make it on time because I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm panicking. But
We were panicking too because we're like, the link's not working. The Wi-Fi. We're like, no, we're coming.
uh-huh. Yeah, but don't worries about no worries. Honestly, this is like super informal. Like there's no like it's not like you're gonna be late to class and I'll give you like citation or anything like
Not
that.
like that. Oh my god.
I was thinking like I didn't want to if anyone was tuning in, I didn't want them to like leave.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
I feel like it's also, to me too, I feel like it's a form of support
Yeah.
by us showing up.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not gonna lie, when we were trying to connect and it froze,
Yeah.
Isaiah was like, we need to be there. It's like, John, we're coming. And I'm like, John, we're coming. And I'm like, John,
Yeah.
you know,
I think
love that it happened.
yeah.
You know?
I'm glad this happened. So every typical tangents I try to bring in guests. Usually in the future for this segment, it's like maybe I'll bring in someone you don't know, but I do know, and maybe we can mingle and talk about like certain topics like cheese or something. I don't know, charcuterie. I don't know, philosophy stuff like that. We'll get deep into it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, there's a lot of potential.
Yeah.
John. It's funny because after you asked me those questions, I had about 7 answers for questions that I already passed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that to me is a sign that.
No, I'm gonna write these down.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious,
Yeah,
John. I'm
yeah.
gonna write down like, what was my life like? What was
Yeah.
I like before
Yeah.
Davis, during, and after?
Yeah. And after, I mean, we were on like question 3, and I was thinking, okay, I have another pro for a Davis.
And I mean, I was like, what's the Isaiah's
know?
here talking about all this. I'm talking about taking pet dogs and Davis.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like,
Like I
I
had
mean,
a lot of
yeah.
answers that
Mhm.
for questions that already passed. What I'm saying is that's a sign for some kind of content where like a follow up,
Yeah.
some like or like not even a follow up, but just like continuation of.
you
some
want to
kind.
get featured again, huh?
I'm just saying.
It's just-
Like, I'm just
I
saying,
mean,
there's only so much you can
Yeah.
fit in.
Yeah.
It's all,
Right.
I didn't realize the
There's
time.
only so much you can fit in, and I guess you know.
That's true.
In what way can you fit more in? I don't know. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure. Definitely topics. The questions I ask, I low key sometimes I don't expect it to get that deep. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. But I mean, I kind of forced it to get deep. And then maybe one time we'll bring up Chris. I don't know, Chris could come through. Hopefully he comes through on the show. I try to get him, but that bro trying to he's dodging. But like yeah, for sure, like because like last week I did a segment with Vivian. We talk about like Asian Americans, you know, obviously it's a huge thing right now, like Asian American hate, stuff like that. I could get more like perspectives for sure, because these topics are definitely like recurring topics. They don't go away. We just bring it up. That's the only difference when it comes to my show. I just bring up the topic. It's always been there, but it does take a while to think about, for real. Like
It does.
Yeah.
It does a little bit, and yeah, I mean, you can't help but think it does. You know, I mean, some, you know, the discussion of it, like, it leaves an effect, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but like, or about Vivian or how your conversation. But I imagine like after that conversation, there were certain things that you would have said at some point, and it occurred to you later, right?
Yeah.
And it goes, yeah. And you're saying like you don't even intend it to be that way. It just happens, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Davis, definitely college life, for sure. Definitely going to be a reoccurring topic when I bring some more people and we can talk more about. But once again, I'm going to end it here. It's like 12:01. It's a little late, you know. I don't go to sleep.
Yes, the pillow talk. you guys.
But thanks for once again for joining on the show. Maybe in a few weeks you guys can come back on. I wonder if you have any like advice for anyone out there, or just give your 2 cents of things. You got a few lasting words, parting words you want to say. Go ahead. Maybe some shout outs. I don't know.
For John, thank you so much for having us. This was definitely I was really, I don't know for Isaiah, but for me it was my first time being on a stream, and I think you texting me if I wanted to do that with Isaiah, I felt so cool. Like it made me feel so cool. I was like, Jay, she's okay. Thank you for having us. I think in terms of 2 cents to the audience, don't hold back.
Okay.
Don't hold yourself back. Because I think that it's very naturally, it's easy to hold ourselves back, and we do it so subconsciously sometimes too. And I think the first thing that came to my mind when you asked that was like, don't hold yourself back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Sam, and I think I would continue off that about not holding yourself back. I think I saw on LinkedIn a couple of days ago. Someone was talking about a mantra.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Is it pronounced mantra? I thought it was pronounced mantra.
Mantra. I think you're right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
There's something about like responding. I forgot the exact quote, but before we go, Sam was talking about not holding back. I tend to wonder like what's going to happen to me.
Yeah.
But after seeing that LinkedIn mantra, the quote, we should probably be thinking less about what's going to happen to us, but what will respond to us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because we're an agent. We're acting in this world, and what will respond to us in some ways depends on how much we hold back or we don't hold back.
Yeah.
So it's less about what will happen to me than is that what will respond to me.
Yeah.
And respond to my involvement, my intervention, my agency.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was fun, John. That was good.
For sure. Thank you once again, Isaiah, Sam. I thank you very much for coming on. Hopefully in a month. I don't know. I don't really plan these shows ahead of time. I kind of do.
I kind of do, but I kind of don't.
I kind of do. I kind of don't. It just comes with the mood. It goes. But yeah, thanks again for coming on. It means a lot. Hopefully, we can have you again on the stream. It would be super dope. Maybe with more guests this time, we can dive in a little more, or maybe not. Who knows? But yeah.
Hi, dude.
So yeah.
Thanks for having us, John.
Yeah. See you later.
Did we just go now?
Yeah, you could just leave the call. Yeah, if you want. I mean, you could stay here, or we could talk later or something. That would be dope. But I mean, you guys probably have stuff
sleepy,
to.
Dude.
Yeah.
I just sleepy now.
Yeah, but just
Bye,
just
John.
yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Later.
Bye.
I gotta freaking turn on the chat box again.